Welcome to this design document series. We are on to the fifth section, which is the text solution. Now, text solution is the heart of any design document. This is where we provide all the details of the solution, right? Whatever we have been thinking, how we want to design the system, how we want to uh, build a system to ensure that we are able to satisfy all the SLAs, we are able to achieve the main objective, right? So this is the section where we document all these things. Try to provide all the relevant details here, right? Including obviously the solution diagrams you might have created it in PowerPoint or using some diagram tools, right? Or there might be some data models that you might have created using Visio or Irwin, right? So ensure that you add all the at least the links to those, if not the actual diagram, to this document, or add any um, examples or references, or even if there are any formulas that you have used to derive anything. Formulas as in let's say you want to give some cluster sizing related details, and you have done some calculation based on some assumptions, some estimates, right? You can add it there as these as well here. But the main thing is make it more specific to your use case. That's the main thing, right? This text solution is very much as per your need, right? It is as per your use case. So give the details related to that. Don't just have another, reference architecture here. You will find a lot of reference architecture on the websites from Azure or AWS, right? You don't want to just add those. You want to customize them as per your needs. So as part of the text solutioning, right, to make it more customized and not just a generic design, you can add details. You can detail out various aspects related to the architecture diagram, the tech stack, the data flows. So we'll go through these one by one, right? What all things you can add. Now again, this is going to give you just uh, uh, an reference for you to add these details to your document. This may not be the final structure that you want to have, but this will help you to have all the details that should be added. So at the architecture diagram, what it should have all the building blocks and the key components, right from data ingestion, data transformation, data storage, data consumption, and then the common services like orchestration, security, governance. So add all those components here as part of the architecture diagram. Clearly highlight things that are not yet finalized or which are to be decided, things which are maybe out of scope for the current phase. It might be a implementation across various phases. So if you have created a diagram which is only for the phase one, you can call that out. But ensure that you give the details related to that. So anyone who is consuming this document should understand that what this architecture diagram is for what, and if it is fully complete or it is incomplete, or there are some changes expected in future. The second important is the data flow diagram, which is very important in case of data projects, right? We are talking about data projects design document. So data flow diagrams, I've often seen many architects not adding these, but it really helps if you have the data flow diagram, so that again the audience would be able to understand how the data flows, right, from various components from the source to target. And there might be some happy path, there might be some error path, right? There might be certain components like you're trying to ingest a particular file, but then it had some issues, so it has to be sent back to the source system. So how that will happen? So try to add these data flow diagrams. It will also um, help you to visualize the requirements, whether these are getting fulfilled, right? We spoke about RTM initially in our first lecture. So it will also help you to address to those requirements which are specific to such cases where you want to send back the data to the sources, or you send the data to certain consumers. Third is when you are creating the architecture diagram where you are adding those details, do mention the significance of each component. What is the exact role of that component? Why is it really needed? It should be very clear that this component is to be used for this particular functionality. There should not be a doubt in the reader's mind, like why this component has been used. To give an example, let's say you're building a real-time system, and along with your warehouse, along with your data lake, you add another NoSQL database or a caching database like let's say Redis or Memcached, right? It is for providing the low latency kind of workloads. So do mention that also when you are defining this architecture components. It should be very clear that what is the role and why it has been used. Next is the most important would be the tech choices and the selection rationale, right? Uh, there are multiple technologies available out there. Why? What were the different choices that you had, and why did you select a particular tool? Right? Give details related to that as well. Uh, to give an example, let's say if you're trying to do data ingestion in AWS, right? You have a choice of using either AWS Glue, or you can use EMR also, or maybe you can also use some third-party ETL tools like Informatica and Talent. So you can give all these as an options, but in the end you can also justify which one has been used and what was the reason for that. Obviously, there would be some reason to go for any one of them. So explain the pros and cons and the limitations or advantages, and then based on um, the design considerations that you had earlier documented, why you have uh, done a particular choice. The next is the source system details and the downstream applications. Source system details is from where you are getting the data, what kind of system it is, does it provide a structured data or unstructured data, or does it provide a batch data or a streaming data, right? Mention all these things. Similarly, downstream applications also, who is going to consume the data from your data storage system or your data platform, whether these are machines or these are humans, what kind of reports they are going to see. So mention all these things as well. This covers your section related to the tech solutioning. I've just covered this at a very high level. What should be there in the design document when you actually start writing these things? You will have to think through it, decide on all these components. This lecture is more about capturing these details in the design document, not how to design these systems. That's the reason I've not gone into details, but yeah, this at least this section will help you to ensure that you are not missing out on anything, right? This when you start writing this design document and go through each of these sections here one by one, it will help you to go through these and think through it. To give an example again, when we talk about source system details, if you have not thought about the frequency of the ingestion, whether they can provide the delta, whether you have not yet discussed that with the source systems, these documents will help you to initiate or to list down all these things which are missing and not done in the project, and so that you can have this discussions with the team. So yeah, this section is again important from the actual design perspective. You can create this section while designing the overall architecture, or you can do it after the design is made, but it's like it has to go hand in on. It's not something, right? You can do it after the whole design is complete, because again it's an iterative process. Things will keep on changing as you progress. So what I would say is, right, while you are designing the system, that time itself you start capturing all these details in this section.